Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Daniel, aka Daniela, and I'm making this video because I'm very disgusted. Um, there's this video that's been on World Star Hip Hop for the past 2 days, with teenagers who attack a mentally ill brother. This shit makes me pissed. This shit pisses me off. I always see when I was younger, I was a fighter, but I was the type of person who didn't pick on weak people. I fought people who were fucking assholes. Those were the majority of the people that I fought. And I even picked on them too because I picked on people who teased other people and fucked with other people. That was the type of person I was. When I was even younger, I did my little bullshit, but I used to fight people who were fighters too. I didn't just pick on weak people, innocent people. And one thing that I could not stand, one of my fucking pet peeves back then, and even to this day, is people messing with people who are weaker than them, people who cannot defend themselves. Especially when it comes to people who are mentally ill people. Whether they are retarded or whether, they're, sorry, that's not the term you're supposed to be using, retarded, mentally disabled people, or people who have some type of mental illness when it comes to like depression and things like that. I always hated this shit. That shit always pissed me off. And that's why I'm making this video right here. See, this is why it's important to have not only the mother in the household, but especially the father. It doesn't matter if you're raising a bunch of girls, you know, or if you're raising, boys or a mix of boys and girls. It's very important for a father to be in the household because girls, even if you're raising three girls, they can grow up with daddy issues simply because their father was not in the house. So it's important for both parents to be in the household. I'm just gonna play this in the background so you can see this disgusting action. This is why it's very important to have, you know, both parents in the household so they won't be out here doing some vile shit like this. This is why it's important for kids to be doing extracurricular activities after school, um, and during the summer. Never should kids be able to be completely free throughout the summer. I believe that kids should at least be doing some type of activity. Whether it's going to the library or the local, like a local youth center or a recreational center, to where they can be occupied. Because when they're out here with all this free time around their friends, they do dumb shit like this. And I believe that every young person that doesn't have a whole household with both parents, they should definitely have a mentor. Because mentors are very good when they have their heart in the right place, because they keep kids away from doing dumb shit like this. These boys are the same boys that would end up shot and killed on the street, whether it's from a black person or another white person. But this act is so damn disgusting. Um, Best believe, the Most High is going to deal with these kids because of that. Um, I work with kids, so I know how vile kids can be. I know how bad they can be. There's some kids. It was funny. These kids, they can even punk the hell out of adults. They can even scare the hell out of adults. Just this year, there was my coworker. She had these unruly high school students. Excuse me. Unruly high school students who she was afraid of. She was afraid of them. So you know, to she wanted me to go with her and handle this situation with her kids, because every day her students are misbehaving. They don't listen. She tells them to sit down, they don't sit down. They do all this extra stuff. And I went to help her. Long story short, I went to go and help her. and I was getting her students in check. Her, you know, her students, of course, are still being somewhat unruly, but they were scared. Um, so then this one student, he really tried to test me because, they know that we can't hit them or put our hands on them or anything like that. So he was testing me a little bit more than other students. So it got to this point to where he was like, "You're not my, you're not my teacher. You can't tell me what to do, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Well, let's talk to her and see what she wants." So I'm like, "Do you want so and so to do this?" She's like, "It's okay. He can keep doing what he's doing." And I sat there. I was like, "What the hell is going on?" You know what I did? I didn't say nothing else. I left. And I said that I would never ever support her again. Because why? Not only because she undermined me in front of the students, but because she gave all the power to her students and she gave in to them. Just because she was afraid of maybe a confrontation between me and the students, or because it may build up and fall back on her when no one else is there. Either way, you should not be afraid of a student. These students know that they can't put their hands on you. They'd be expelled, you know, even criminal charges, stuff like that. So she has to understand her power. She can't be afraid. You can't work with kids and be afraid of them. You just can't. It's not good for them. But I mean, this is just disgusting. It really is. It really is. And people think this shit is cool. I knew kids like this in high school and middle school who would fuck with people. There was even this one time, I remember I think it was during my junior year in high school. Um, One of the football players who was, I wouldn't say that he was a friend of mine, but we talked, we went to parties together and stuff like that. We hung out because we were on the football team, so, um, and he was around my height, but he was slimmer built. He was much slimmer built. I was always more stockier, muscle, but he was skinnier. But he was real tall. He was taller than most of the people on the football team. And he had a brother who was almost the same build, but a little bit shorter. He was his younger brother. And almost every day, they would go around, they would pick with people and do stuff like that. And there was this one guy who was on our football team, very nice guy. He was just a very nice guy. He was very cool, quiet, relaxed, laid back type guy. And one day, he was standing. He was standing in the snack line where you can buy like extra pizza and chips, juice, all this other stuff, little hot wings, and a small guy standing in the line, minding his own business, and then the tall guy came up to him, was like, "Can you buy me this?" Blah blah blah. Because every day we had these certain group of guys, and even mostly when it came to the girls, this certain group of girls. Every day they would go around and ask people for money. I mean, like straight up just begging people for money. And if you didn't give them money, oh, you a dusty nigga. Even though I had money to give, I never gave them money because I just knew the game they were playing. Niggas thought they can get in tight with these girls because they was throwing money their way. Nah. And then the thing was that back in those days, I was running through most of those girls, cheerleaders and chicks on the drill team. So I knew that you didn't need no money to do that. But anyways, he went up and asked this dude for, a few dollars so he can get some stuff out of line. Now I'm thinking like, dog, you are 17 years old, and you're up here bumming, trying to bum money off this dude. So he says no. The short guy says no. He buys his stuff that he wants. The short guy buys stuff he wants. He walks over to the table. He sits down. And then his brother, and I believe there was a third guy, I can't remember who it was, came over to the short guy and was trying to bully him out of his food. He was like, "Yeah, nigga, what you gonna do if I take your shit? Blah, 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 blah." and I think he snatched one of the juices from the guy. Um, and I don't know if dude's food fell over or whatever, but I remember specifically he took one of the guy's juices. And of course, the little short guy stood up and he's like, "Man, give me my stuff back." And of course, there was nothing he could do. I think he realized that there was three of them, and these were his fellow football players. These were our fellow football players. So when I saw that shit, I saw that they were bullying him, and then he kind of like sat down and was like, "Ah, fuck it." The short guy, I came over, I was like, "Nah, fuck that shit, bro. Give him his shit back now, or me and you gonna have problems." And see, this guy, he was always one of those guys who talk shit. I call them bluffers because they talk shit and they're really not about the action when it comes to guys on their level. And see, I'm a much bigger dude than him. Like I said, he was slimmer. He was like a slim, muscle built. I was more of a stocky, muscle built. So he didn't want to try me. So I told him to give him his shit back, or me and him was about to scrap. He looked at me for a minute. He thought about it, and he was like, "Fuck it, huh?" Gave him his shit back. After the day, he did not fuck with him. And that's always been the type of person that I was. I didn't tolerate that bullying shit at all. I didn't fuck around with that shit. That has always been one of my pet peeves because I've always been a fighter. And the reason how I became a fighter was because when I was real young, people used to pick with me. And I was one of those people, because I was very, 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 I was tall when I was younger. I was always tall for my age, but I was very, very skinny and shit. It was before my middle school days when I started working out. I was skinny, so people thought that they could fuck with me. And I was quiet too. I was very quiet when I was real young. I was very quiet, very bashful and shit. And people thought they could try me, and they had to learn the hard way. See, I was always a fighter. Why? Because my mom, she had got into a relationship with a guy when I was real young, who later became my stepdad. And he had a stepson. Well, he had kids, which were my stepbrothers at the time. One was around my age, one was older than me, and he was bigger than me too, taller than me. He was like kind of fat or whatever. So he would fuck with me. He didn't really fuck with my older brother like that, but he would fuck with me, and he would fuck with my little sister, my younger sister. That's 2 years young, a year younger than me. And I would always fight his ass when he would fuck with my sister, when he would fuck with me. I didn't play that shit. And when he fucked with my younger brother, I did not play that fucking shit. Me and him, we used to get in scraps. Even times where I couldn't, even when, it was, he had the advantage of me, I'll pick shit up and knock him across his motherfucking head with it. And me and his dad used to get into it all the time. Like, I used to physically fight his fucking dad. And I was in elementary school when this shit happened. So I was always a fighter, so I didn't tolerate that bullshit for no one. Whenever somebody tried to pick on me, I fucking fought them. And I don't get scared easily. And, that can be a curse or a blessing, but I usually try to scope out the situation first. I got jumped before. This dude hit me. I tried to avoid fighting him because he had like 15 guys with him. Like, I'm not even joking. It was like 15 or 20 of them. And I whooped his ass. So basically, I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you the story of what happened. So I was living on a certain side of town, because I went to school near a certain side of town. So, anyways, me, my brother. I don't think my younger brother was with us. It was me, my older brother, and my 2 stepbrothers. We're walking down the street. We're going to their house because they lived just down the block. So we were walking over their house. We were walking down the street, and we see these 3 girls walking down the street, talking all loud, being loud. And we're like, "Oh, look at this shit." And mind you, we were in middle school. One of the girls, she came over to us and was like talking shit, like, "Oh, what up, cuz? Where y'all from? What?" She's like, I wanna shadow box one of y'all. And we're like, nah, we're not gonna shadow box you. She was like, "Man, I wanna shadow box you," saying that to me. I'm like, "Nah, I'm not gonna shadow box you. You're a girl, and when I shadow box, I slip up, and sometimes I hit people." And she's like, "Man, I don't care, cuz, come on." So she proceeded to shadow box with me, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm up here, dodging her hits and everything like that, and I throw a few, intentionally not even trying to, throw her away because I didn't want to shadow box her. And then I throw one, and her ass moved right into the hit, got popped right in her eye, and she was like, "Oh, nah, I'm going to get the cuz. I gotta go get the cuz now." And we're like, "Oh, this bitch." See, we knew she was on some bullshit, so we was like, "Oh, whatever." So we walked off. We went to my stepbrother's house. We were in there for like the next probably like hour or two. We watched the movie, and then me and my other brother, we left. We walked back to the house, and we came across this guy that I knew in middle school. I knew him just because I went to the middle school, and so we walked back. Whatever. Me and my brother went home. There was no issues, and then it was a few days later when this whole incident took place. So a few days later, me, my younger sister, my younger brother, and my youngest sister, we walked to Wendy's. My mom, she gives us like about $10. We go to Wendy's to buy some food. And my older brother, he wasn't with me at the time. I don't even think he was at home at the time, to tell the truth. I think he was like gone somewhere. We walked to Wendy's, and on our way to walking to Wendy's, because we used to go to Wendy's a lot because it was right around the corner from our house, and of course Wendy's was cheap. We went to Wendy's. We were walking to Wendy's, and on our way there, we see a group of like, I'm not even joking, like 30 people, 30 like teenagers, kids, in high school, middle school, and even elementary school, just out on the block, just being loud, just being very loud. We wasn't even sure what was going on. We thought maybe someone was in there fighting or whatever. Um, so as we get closer, we see them shadow boxing. I see a few people that I knew from school and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh, what up, cuz? What up, cuz?" And I wasn't even a crip, you know what I'm saying? Because where I'm from a certain part of town where we're bloods. I was part of a blood gang, um, and I was just bobbing my head like, yeah, what's up to the people that I did know and stuff like that. And then the dude that I saw the other night, he was like, "Oh man, you the one that hit my cousin, cuz. Yeah, it was this nigga right here, cuz." I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm like, I ain't hit your cousin. I don't know who your cousin is. I'm thinking he's talking about a guy. And even at the time, I didn't know who he was talking about, but he was talking about the girl who I shadowboxed. And mind you, this girl went to my middle school too, but I didn't know her. I just seen her a few times up until that part where we shadowboxed. He was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, it's you, nigga. Yeah." I'm like, he was like, "Come on, let's fight 1-on-1 right here." I'm like, man, I'm not trying to fight. I'm trying to go home. I'm trying to go up here to Wendy's, get some food for my brothers and sisters and go back. He's like, "Man, I don't care about that, cuz. Nah, fuck that, me and you, we gonna fight right here, cuz." And of course, all his little dudes, all 20 of them, like, "Oh man, hit that nigga, cuz. Hit that nigga, cuz." And so I'm like, man, I'm not even gonna fight you. So I start walking off. I'm like, come on. I'm saying, tell my siblings to come on. Like, man, we ain't got time for this shit. So we're walking, and then dude come up from the side, boom, hit me right behind the left side of my cheek, my jaw. Sorry. I get so congested with this damn fan. Let me pause real quick. And by the way, sorry for the loud ass fan, because I just noticed that I did have this shit blasting on loud. I don't even know why I have it on. It's really not even needed. It's pretty cool today. Anyways, dude hit me right behind the left side of my jaw, so I was like, oh, fuck it. So I took my leather coat off. This is back in the day when leather coats were popping and shit. So I took my leather coat off, handed it to my sister. I was like, okay, nigga, let's go. Mind you, I believe at the time I was like 11 years old. I was 11 years old, probably going on 12. And this dude was 16 years old. This guy was 16 years old, still in middle school. This nigga should have been a junior in high school, but no, he was still in middle school at the age of 16. So this guy hit me in the jaw. I said, fuck it. I gave my cousin to my sister. I was like, okay, fuck it. We better fight. And we square up, me and him. And I'm being encircled by like 20 dudes. I'm like, oh yeah, they like, yeah, drop that nigga cuz. Talk to the guy who I'm fighting. Drop that nigga cuz. Beat that nigga's ass cuz. You know, just pumping him up. He's like, oh yeah, I'm about to fuck this little nigga up. So anyways, this nigga, this dude, he throws. I believe he throws like 2 hits. I dodged the fuck out of them motherfuckers. I came and I was like, boom, boom, hit him with 2. Drop that ass. And they was like, oh, nah, fuck that shit, cuz. He's like, no, I'm good. I just slipped. He was like, I slipped, cuz. I'm good. I just slipped, cuz. Yeah, you slipped on these fists. So anyways, so he get back up. And, we're getting ready to throw some more. I'm like, okay. No, because after I dropped him, I was like, okay, I'm done. And he was like, nah, I slipped, cuz. I'm okay. Nah, come back. So I'm like, all right. So I come back again. I let him throw the first hits. He tried to throw another 2. So I stepped to the right. I hit him. Boom. I didn't even think. I don't think I hit him with a hook. Maybe I did hit him with a hook. I can't remember if it was like a straight jab or a hook. But man, I fucking dropped him with one hit. Boom. He hit the ground. Nigga was sleeping. Next thing you know, I get rushed by like 20 fucking dudes. And the funny thing is that when they all came in, they all kind of came in on each other. I think somebody may have shoved me, but nobody hit me. And all I remember is going down and seeing like all these arms and legs trying to get me. And I crawled my skinny ass through their legs and got up through. And like, I'm not even kidding, I got like 10 to 15 feet away from them before they noticed that I was not in there. That's how many dudes there was. That's how many people there was. And I tell my little brothers and sisters, I'm like, run. So, they wasn't even fucking with my brothers and sisters. And I noticed that when I was running, they weren't keeping up with me. Oh, well, they were. Because they ran through they ran through these fucking thorn bushes trying to keep up with me and my little brothers and sisters and shit. But I was gone. So anyways, we made it all the way back to the house. And they came back. Like, they came with adults this time. They came with like fucking adults. Niggas pull up in cars and all this shit. And mind you, when I was fighting this shit, how it broke up was because they even had niggas coming out of cars and shit. Like, I don't know how bad it was, but there was this woman who drove past. I think it was like a woman, maybe 2 women in the car. They drove past and they got the car, and they tried to break this shit up. Like 2 grown ass women. It was like, nah, y'all can't be doing this. Leave them alone and all this stuff. But I was already gone. My ass was. But anyways, that's a little story about myself. But I just can't. Going back to this, I just can't stand niggas. And not to, throw any shade on this brother who I fought, who got me jumped and shit. Because like I said, I show compassion towards my people, and I understand that our people we're so fucked up right now because of the situation that we're in. And I know that we were fucked up outside the situation too, but this mentality that we have, this very selfish, evil fucking mentality that we have, is mainly due to the society that we live in, our current situation. But anyways, I show compassion for my people, and he was young. He was young at the time, so I forgive him for that shit. You know what I'm saying? And all those people who jumped me, we were kids. I did dumb shit back in the day that I wouldn't want nobody to hold a grudge on me for. But yeah, the brother, he's since passed. He was actually shot and killed back in, I believe it was 2008 when he was killed. So he's been gone for a minute. He's been gone for almost 10 years. And that's sad. That's sad, but it was that lifestyle that he was in Um, and see, this is the thing. He was a OG of his little neighborhood. He was the OG. He started that hood, and he was a kid. Mind you, he was messing with grown ass dudes too. Like he was like in the midst of grown ass gangster niggas. You know what I'm saying? That was like in their 20s and shit. So yeah, but it's sad. I forgive him. I even forgive the girl. Me and the girl, his cousin, we're actually we became somewhat of friends in high school, and I even talk to his cousin to this day. You know what I'm saying? So um, she still remembers it. It was funny because she had made a post on Facebook recently saying, you know, how did we first meet and was it good? And I kept it real for her. I was like, nope, the first time we met was bad. And she was like, explain it to me. What do you mean? And I told her the story. She's like, oh yeah, shit, I remember that. So yeah, but anyways, I forgive him for that, man. And it's sad that he was killed some years ago. But it is what it is. Um, the Most High, He does what He does, and He cannot be stopped. He is the Most High. He is righteous. And who knows? Maybe that happened because of what He did to me and other people. Who knows? But I forgive the brother for that. He was just a kid at the time. But anyways, that's basically all I have to say. Stop doing this dumb shit, man. It's much more respectable to be an upstanding black person who will fight, but fight for the right things and fight for, your people. Why is it so cool to do shit like this to brothers who are mentally ill? He look like he's enjoying his time, man. Look at this. You have some shit like this. Now you just fucked up his trust because now this brother may be paranoid. This mentally ill brother may be paranoid, walking down the street. And this is in Philly. I don't know how old this is. This kind of look old. I'm not sure how old this is. I don't know if people always stay dusty looking over in Philly, but I don't know. It's kind of look old, but who knows? Those pants aren't baggy enough for it to be anything like in the early 2000s. But this is sad no matter what. Hey, you got two dudes wanting to be at. I just couldn't, man. I'll probably catch a charge seeing some shit like this. I mean, but I don't know what the laws are out there in Philly, but I would definitely be trying to defend another helpless person. So I wouldn't catch a charge here in Ohio, but I don't know how their laws are in Philly. But anyways, that's all I have to say. Talk to you guys later. Peace out. Shalom and Kwam Yashala.